I mean, other than the LOL podcast and this podcast presented by yours truly, are there any other podcasts that are for teens, by teens, run by teens? I can't really name any. I can't really think of any right now. And when we talk about the podcast networks, I who are these people and why are they popular? That's one other thing I want to talk. Who are you people and how on earth did you get popular? How did these people get their rise in the media? How did they become so successful? Especially thing I've seen no one in the real world, thankfully, actually listen to these deranged idiot podcasters. I mean, it's ridiculous. Let's go to the actually. Let's cut to the podcast charts by Spotify. The top podcast in the United States of America. Apparently, Candace Owens hit number one on something. How is Candace Owens a number one podcaster in America? Who is listening to some crazy woman ranting about nonsense all day? I mean, seriously, how is she the number one podcast, at least in the entertainment section in America? This doesn't make any sense. But let's kind of go to the Spotify podcast charts. I do not know how any of these people have jobs, and I don't know why. No one cares what they have to say. All right, anyway, number one, the Joe Rogan Experience. I have seen his show maybe like once. Who is watching this? It's just some guy sitting there talking to some guy who may or may not be an expert on something. And, his set is trash. And yes, I know, look, guys, I'm filming in front of my bed, okay? But this set is free, essentially, okay? He's a multi-millionaire. Here's a TV screen and a red curtain. Who is watching this? And also, like, his podcast episodes are 3 hours long. Who is watching these podcasts? Seriously. Who's watching this? Everyone's talking about how he's a big thing on the internet. Really? Name me one person that you know that listens to this podcast. Number two, the Tucker Carlson show. Oh my gosh. These fans are so annoying. My goodness. And he is too. I mean, he used to be sane. Now he's not. Who's listening to this? Seriously. Who? Why? Why would anyone listen to some guy run around and interview the enemies of America? Like, why? Number two is crazy. Number two. And then, of course, he'll probably see this. Probably won't. But I mean, if you see it. What do you mean? Shut up. Oh, my gosh. Little scum and his fans. 1620 American, you unfollow me, so I can fully lambaste you now. Bum. 1620 American going around. Yeah, guys. I like him, 300 follower kid over here. Oh my gosh. Ridiculous stuff over here. The Journal from the Wall Street Journal. Okay, like the Wall Street Journal, I guess they're important, but like the number 3 podcast in the United States is by the Wall Street Journal. Okay. Podcast this past weekend with Theo Vaughn. Yeah. Number 4. Again, who listens to this? Crime Junkie from Audio Truck. Never heard it. The Daily from the New York Times. And I was going through this list, the comment section for Drew Afula. Who the heck is Drew Afula? Well, I was going through this list, and it's changed a bit from the last time I looked at it. There's been some rises and things. Up first from NPR. I thought NPR was broke. How are they in number 10 podcast, top 10 podcast in the United States of America? I think NPR was like one of its last legs. They didn't have any funding anymore, and they were going to have to shut down in 30 minutes or something like that. And number 10, I mean, congratulations, NPR. And, I went to their website. It looks like they had some interesting stuff on there. Maybe not on the news side, but on the other entertainment stuff side. But still, number 8 podcast in America. Wow. Matt and Shane's secret podcast. Let's not be a secret podcast. It's at number 9. And again, I have heard of these, like, vaguely. And I haven't listened to any of them. But, like, who's listening to this? And how are people going to get into this? The Good Hang with Amy Poehler. Never heard of it. Call her daddy. Okay, how is Alex Cooper? I think she was number 10 when I was looking at these. How is she one of the 10, 15 podcasters in America? The top 10. She just interviews random people about inappropriate stuff. And see, what are you doing? And how? I read her Wikipedia page. She got her rise so fast. I've been podcasting for years. And currently right now, 2 people are watching this show, which means we're breaking viewership records. How is Alex Cooper important? Like, I saw the stat when she interviewed the vice president. What a ripoff! She ripped her off so badly. It's crazy. He said that set was $100,000. $100,000. I could have made that like cardboard for $5. Alex Cooper, really? Bruh. This is what people are listening to. Apparently, Alex Cooper. You should be listening to me. Much smarter here. But I mean, you gotta admire. I mean, she got a rise in the media very quickly, very fast. Armchair Expert with Dak Shepard. What is this about? Never heard of it. He talks to people. Oh, okay. Well, the Sean Ryan Show. Again, the number 14 podcast in America and number 1 in entertainment. Why? Literally, why? Why would anyone listen to this? It's just some insane woman rambling on and on and on. Why? Who? Why would you listen to this? Why? It's just an insane woman going on and on and on about a whole bunch of ridiculous conspiracy theories. Like, okay, maybe it's funny on a clip. Okay, but the number 14? Who's watching this? Oh my gosh. And also, when you think about these podcasts, the top, like 30% of the top 10, 40% of the top 15 are like political podcasts, which means you kind of cut your audience base in half. The audience base of people who listen to podcasts, okay, not the entire nation. You cut it in half. Wouldn't it make more sense for a comedy podcast or just a general talk podcast to outperform a political podcast? I mean, because you could cut across ideologies on a general talk show or comedy podcast. How are you in the top 10, 15 if you have a political podcast? I really don't know how. Number 15 is crazy. Almost Athletes with Dual Bluefic. Like, now that sounds interesting. Bad Friends. Don't know what this is. Diary of a CEO. He's interesting, I guess. Morbid. Pardon My Take. The Mel Robbins podcast. Who is that? She says she's the number 1 podcast on the globe, but she's number 21. Also, I've never heard of this before. Small Street Reddit stories. I was looking for podcast recommendations. I looked into it. She was kind of boring. NPR News Now. Top 25. NPR. Congratulations. Again, I thought y'all were broke. So maybe they are broke. Maybe they're just doing this out the kindness and goodness of their heart. Who knows? Crime, Conspiracy, Cults, and Murder. The Louis Stewart podcast. And none of these podcasts I have ever heard anyone, not a single person listen to. Like in real life. Who listens to these?